Have you ever felt like your skincare routine is, well, more of a battle than a nice ritual? Like you're always fighting against your skin instead of actually working with it? Well, today we're going to dive into a totally different way of thinking, a journey into a culture where skin isn't just some afterthought, it's pretty much everything. And this quote from Charlotte Cho, it just sets the scene perfectly. See, she was a California girl who thought she knew everything there was to know about beauty. But moving to Seoul completely turned her world upside down and kicked off this huge transformation, not just for her skin, but for her whole idea of what self-care even means. So, to really understand this skincare revolution, we have to go back to the beginning. And her story, well, it's probably going to sound really familiar to a lot of us. It basically sums up the typical Western approach to skin, or, in this case, the lack of one. Okay, so just picture it. Southern California, early 2000s. The main goal, a tan, all year round. SPF wasn't really on the radar. Makeup wasn't about enhancing your skin, it was about covering it up. Got a blemish? Just throw some concealer and foundation on it. And skincare? Poof. That was something you'd worry about way later, when wrinkles showed up. It was a problem for your future self. This right here really highlights the huge difference in philosophy. In the West, we tend to treat our skin like an enemy, right? We use aggressive words like fighting acne or combating wrinkles. It's all reactive. The Korean approach, though, is all about nurturing and prevention. The point isn't to cover up problems, it's to create skin that's so healthy you barely even need makeup. It completely changes skincare from being a chore you dread into a pampering ritual you actually enjoy. And this just captures that disconnect perfectly. On the one hand, you've got a pretty casual diet. On the other, a totally random, expensive purchase based on this vague idea that if it's pricey, it must be good. Charlotte actually admits she bought an $80 bottle of toner without having a clue what toner was even for. It just shows there was no real strategy, no informed plan at all. Oh man, and here is a myth that so many of us fell for. Do you remember those bright orange acne washes that left your skin feeling so tight and dry it actually hurt to smile? We were taught to think that stinging and burning meant it was working. That super harsh, stripping feeling was a sign of success. But in reality, it was just a sign of damage. We were completely messing up our skin's natural balance. So all of this leads to a massive turning point. After college, Charlotte moves to Seoul for work and gets hit with this intense culture shock. And it wasn't just about the language or customs. It was in the very air she was breathing, which, as it turned out, was basically infused with skincare. Can you imagine your coworkers pointing out your dark circles or asking, what is growing out of your skin? In the US, you'd be running to HR, right? But in her office in Seoul, this kind of bluntness was actually a form of caring. Her coworkers weren't trying to be mean. They were genuinely concerned. This well-intentioned rudeness was her first big clue that in Korea, taking care of yourself is a shared and very openly discussed value. And it wasn't just the comments. Skincare was literally woven into the fabric of everyday life. She'd see these super masculine guys with sunscreen and hand cream right on their desks. The entire office was this dewy landscape of personal humidifiers, everyone battling the dry air. It wasn't some niche hobby. It was just normal, universal. Okay, think about this for a second. Can you imagine a man in a typical American office elevator complimenting a woman on her skin? It just shows you how deeply ingrained the appreciation for healthy skin is over there. It's a real, celebrated compliment, like admiring someone's outfit. And the woman's reaction, she was so happy, it showed how much pride she took in her skin. So after being immersed in this whole new world, Charlotte started to decode the philosophy behind it all. She began to realize it wasn't just about products. It was a complete mindset, a totally different way of thinking about your skin and its health. And it all boils down to a few key pillars. First, skin health comes way before makeup. It's all about prevention from a young age, not scrambling to fix problems later. It's holistic, connecting your skin to your diet and lifestyle. And, this is crucial, it's a ritual that you're supposed to enjoy, all driven by a super competitive market that's always innovating. And speaking of innovation, this is where it gets really fun. Korean brands are famous for pushing the boundaries with their ingredients. Snail mucin, for example, might sound a little weird, but it's packed with nutrients that are incredible for hydrating your skin and helping repair damage like acne scars. It's this total openness to what's new and what actually works that keeps the industry so exciting. Okay, so we've talked about the philosophy. Now let's get practical. If there is one single technique that is the absolute foundation of the Korean routine, It is this, the double cleanse. It is a total game changer.
I know what you're thinking. It sounds like overkill, right? You barely have time to wash your face once, let alone twice. And I get it, but there is a very simple, very scientific reason why this is so effective. It's all about targeting two totally different kinds of grime.
So here's how it works. Step 1 is an oil cleanser. Now, basic chemistry. Oil dissolves oil. So this first wash literally melts away everything that's oil-based on your face, your makeup, your sunscreen, and the natural oils your skin produces. Then, step 2 is a water-based cleanser, like a foam or a gel. That comes in and washes away everything else. Sweat, dirt, all the city grime. See? One cleanser just can't do both jobs effectively. And here's why that deep clean is so critical for your skin's long-term health. All day long, our skin gets exposed to pollution and grime, and that stuff contains things called free radicals. These are nasty little unstable atoms that basically attack our skin cells. They break down the collagen and elastin that keep our skin looking firm and plump. In short, they cause wrinkles. A double cleanse makes sure you're getting rid of these guys before they have all night to do their damage. And this brings us right back to that stinging face wash from the beginning. That squeaky clean, tight feeling we were taught to love. Turns out, that's your skin's cry for help. It means your cleanser is way too harsh and has stripped your skin's protective moisture barrier, messing up its natural pH balance. The goal is never to strip your skin bare, but to leave it feeling soft, balanced, and hydrated. Ultimately, that is the real heart of the Korean beauty mindset. It's about shifting from fighting against your skin to partnering with it. It's about understanding it, nurturing it, and protecting it. So as we wrap up, the real takeaway is the simple question. Are you ready to stop treating your skin like an enemy and start treating it like a friend?